Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the regular scheduled village board meeting on September 9th, 2025. Will you please rise and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Lana, roll call, please.
Mayor DeBold.
I'm here.
Trustees Amos.
Here.
Babiak. Here. Brockman.
Here.
Chapman.
Here.
Luciano.
Here.
And Selfridge.
Here.
All right, we do have a quorum to conduct this evening's business. With that, we'll move on to our citizens section. Are there any citizens wishing to address the board this evening? Yes, ma'am. And again, just please state your name for the record.
My name is Christine Ozemkevich. Good evening, Village Board. The residents of Verton Boulevard and I are looking forward to a unanimous passing of the traffic calming study to be executed by Christopher B. Burke Engineering. We believe action needs to be taken tonight, especially in light of the additional accidents which have occurred in the last 12 days. One on Verton Boulevard near Raising Cane's restaurant at 3 p.m. on Friday, August 29th, and a second in front of 800 Verton Boulevard at 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, September 3rd. The September 3rd accident involved a 17-year-old who slammed into the back of Mr. Jesse Ibarra's parked car. According to Mr. Ibarra, the teen had to have been speeding based on the impact of the two cars. 800 Verton Boulevard is only 4 houses past the stop sign. If the teen did make a complete stop, he managed to go from 0 to 30 miles per hour in approximately 200 feet. I spoke to Principal Kristen Copes at Troy Hofer Elementary School last week. She told me she has talked to the village and the police department about the volume of traffic and speeding on Verton Boulevard, even during school days. She expressed how she has been unable to fill the crossing guard positions and fill them internally with teacher assistants instead. She is looking for some positive action to be taken. I will close with 2 written statements, one from a fellow resident who is unable to attend the Tuesday night meetings, and the other from our mail carrier. The first is from Tiffany Purcell. Good evening. My name is Tiffany Purcell. I live at 900 Verton Boulevard with my husband and 4 daughters. I work at Edward Hospital in Naperville and cannot leave my shift tonight, so my neighbor is reading this statement on my behalf. That should tell you how serious this issue is. I could not allow my voice to go unheard. We have lived in this neighborhood since 2012, and from the very beginning, traffic and speeding on Verton Boulevard have been out of control. When we moved in, we learned that the tree in front of our house had been destroyed by a drunk driver. Since then, I have personally witnessed cars racing 50, 60, even 70 miles per hour down this road, passing illegally, honking when I try to turn into my driveway, and blowing through crosswalks as if children don't matter. Last year, when I walked my daughter to school, drivers ignored the crossing guard so often that the crosswalk closest to our house had to be shut down. Imagine that. Children lost the ability to safely cross near their homes because too many drivers refused to stop. And still, even at the farther crosswalk, drivers get angry and speed up rather than slow down for children. My children cannot even play in our front yard because Verton has been turned into a cut-through raceway for impatient drivers heading to Target or Route 59. On top of that, the number of car accidents on Verton has become alarming. It feels like almost every week there's another crash caused by someone speeding, distracted, or simply being careless. The evidence is clear. Accidents are increasing as traffic grows heavier and faster. Each one is a warning sign that something worse is coming if nothing is done. This is not a debate. It's not about budgets, convenience, or excuses. This is about protecting families. Every day that passes without action is another day we gamble the lives of children, neighbors, and pedestrians. Do we really need to wait until someone is killed before you move? If that happens, the responsibility will be on the board for ignoring years of warnings. And I will leave you with this. If this is where your family were living on Verton, if these were your children trying to walk to school, would you demand the same protection? So I ask, what kind of leaders you choose to be? The kind that waits for tragedy and makes his excuses, or the kind that acts now to save lives and safeguard this community. Thank you, Tiffany Purcell. The second letter is from our mail lady, who's been our mail lady since we lived there 19 years ago. To whom it may concern at the Village of Shorewood and Shorewood Police Department, I am writing in regards to an extreme safety concern within the village on Burton Boulevard. I have been the mail carrier for that area since Troy Hofer Elementary has opened its doors. The traffic in the area is moderately heavy, as to be expected in a booming area. However, the 25-mile-per-hour speed limit is rarely followed. The amount of times I have almost been struck by a car servicing my route is astonishing. It's not a few or a handful, it's in the hundreds and completely unacceptable. If the school is having an event or my customers simply are having family or friends over, I can rarely dismount to service my customers as it's an extreme safety concern. I've seen people blow by the crossing guards, flipping them off and cursing at them. I've seen children almost get struck by a car going in excess of 40 miles per hour or more. The department used to post police in the first week or two of school. That did not happen this year. All I've seen is the digital speed signs. They do nothing to deter people from flying down the road like it's a NASCAR racetrack. I have customers who have home businesses on Burton in which I'm supposed to walk across the street to service. I'm not allowed to do that anymore. I have to drive down to Hamilton and Richards and make a 3-point turn to service them on their side of the road. Children shouldn't even be a second thought about money spent to protect the elementary school children that live in the area. An officer needs to be present before and after school to catch the maniacs who think it's okay to fly by a school zone where children are clearly present. I have called numerous times since 2007 asking for patrols so I can arrive home safely to my own children as well. There has to be a solution better than a digital sign telling you that you're above the speed limit. I drive a clearly marked USPS vehicle. Buses are hard to miss, and so is a crossing guard with a bright safety vest and stop sign. Please do better, Shorewood. This is disappointing. Signed, a concerned mail carrier, Amy Walker. Thank you again for your time and attention to this very important matter tonight.
Thank you. Anybody else under the citizen section of this evening's agenda? All right, with that, we'll move on to our consent agenda for the evening. Item number 1 under consent will be a consideration for approval of the regular meeting minutes from August 26, 2025. Item 2 is a consideration for approval of the committee of the whole meeting minutes from August 26, 2025. Item 3 is approval of payments, accounts payable in the amount of $618,529.65. And finally, item number 4 will be approval of a payment in the amount of $1,107,495.27 to Joseph Henderson and Sons for the pumping station 5 million gallon reservoir project. Any board members have any questions? If not, take a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion, trustee Luciano.
Second.
Second by trustee Babiak. Roll call, please.
Babiak?
Yes.
Brockman?
Yes.
Chapman?
Yes.
Luciano?
Yes.
Selfridge?
Yes.
And Amos?
Yes.
All right, with that, we'll move on to our reports of communications. Lana, before we move into this big section, is there anything that you would receive prior to this meeting?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, everybody, please join me. We actually have a big police event here this evening. We get to celebrate a few different promotions. As our board may recall, one of our deputy chiefs had retired and moved on to another agency. With that has created a little bit of a domino effect. So we have the honor tonight of promoting Brian Polson to deputy chief, Danielle Malone to a commander, Alan Christione to sergeant, and we additionally will have 3 new hires to swear in this evening. So with that, Mr. Brian Polson. All right, my vision's not what it used to be, so I got to wear glasses. Raise your hand. I state your name.
I, Brian Polson,
having been appointed to the position of Deputy Chief
having been appointed to the position of Deputy Chief
in the Police Department of the Village of Shorewood,
Police Department of the Village of Shorewood,
County of Will,
County of Will,
United States of America,
United States of America,
aforesaid,
aforesaid,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the Village of Shorewood,
and the ordinances of the Village of Shorewood,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Deputy Chief. So, real quick, for those that don't know, Chief Olson, how long have you been with the agency now?
26 years.
26 years, came up through the ranks.
Yes, served patrol, worked my way through detectives, sergeant, commander, and deputy chief.
Brian put forth a lot of effort within the village police department and has worked his way through the ranks. And here we are tonight. Do you have any family or anybody that's joined us tonight that you want to acknowledge, point out?
I have my wife, my 2 daughters, my mother and father, my mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, aunt, and
You brought a few. Thank you for coming. Congratulations.
thank you, guys.
Congrats. Where's Ms. Malone? Danny, your right hand. I state your name.
I, Danielle Malone,
Having been appointed to the position of commander,
having been appointed to the
position
position of commander
in the police department of the Village of Shorewood,
in the police department of the Village of Shorewood,
County of Will,
County of Will,
State of Illinois,
State of Illinois,
aforesaid,
aforesaid,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the Village of Shorewood,
and the ordinances of the Village of Shorewood,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Sarah. Danny, how long have you been with the agency?
19 years.
So Danny's 19 years. What kind of background have you done with us here?
I've been in narcotics, I've been handled domestic violence, and been a sergeant, commander.
So, again, another example of one of our officers internally working their way through the ranks. Even as Danny just kind of touched on, there's a variety of different programs and opportunities that even Shorewood, a small community of 18,000 that we participate in regionally to help out the bigger picture. And real quick, do you have any family here that you want to acknowledge?
Pretty much
Oh, yeah.
that section over there.
Okay. Congratulations, Commander.
Thank you very much.
Alan? Ready?
Ready.
All right. I state your name.
I, Alan Cristione,
Having been appointed to the position of sergeant
having been appointed to the position of sergeant
in the police department of the Village of Shorewood,
in the police department of the Village of Shorewood,
County of Will,
County of Will,
State of Illinois,
State of Illinois,
aforesaid,
aforesaid,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the Village of Shorewood,
and the ordinances of the Village of Shorewood,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Sergeant.
Thank you.
How long have you been with the agency now?
8 years.
So Alan's been here 8 years, obviously just came out of patrol and
Yes.
getting promoted to sergeant here as well. Do you have any family in the audience?
Pretty much that whole back corner.
So the back corner. Okay. So we got some different groups here. So again, thank you for coming. Thank you to your family. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we will do all three of our new hires. We have Tommy Cargis from the Chicago Heights area. He's a local business owner. Served in the U.S. Army. And he's joined here tonight with his wife Rachel and 3 children, and has some additional family here. We also have Carter Colhart. He is from the Joliet area. He also finished some education with an associate's in law enforcement. He is joined here by his father Scott and his girlfriend. And our other new recruit is Michael Harker, a Shorewood resident. He just recently finished serving with the U.S. Marines. He's joined here by his wife Crystal and their 3 kids. All right, gentlemen. Raise your hand. I, what's your name?
Carter Colhart.
Having been appointed to the position of police officer
Have been appointed to the position of police officer
in the police department of the village of Shorewood,
in the village of Shorewood,
county of Will,
county of Will,
state of Illinois,
state of Illinois.
aforesaid,
Aforesaid,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
the ordinances of the village of Shorewood,
the ordinances of the village of Shorewood,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, officer. With that, Chief, these guys have, real quick, they have to go into a field training program, or how long until, what's some quick background for our residents to know with 3 new officers coming in, a little bit of the process before they actually get to hit the street.
So these officers just started the police academy last week. They finished their first week and started their second week just yesterday. They'll do it for 16 weeks. After that, they come out and they come into the field training program, where they will spend another 16 weeks with a variety of officers going through different steps of the program, finishing up with a shadow phase, where they'll be on their own, followed by an officer who's already been certified, and complete that process, and then be released on their own.
Keyword said hopefully.
Hopefully. We're confident.
There we go. We like to hear that.
Very confident.
Congratulations, guys. Thank you. All right. Move on with this evening's agenda. Order of business. Business item number 1 will be a consideration for approval of a resolution for the Village of Shorewood, Will County, Illinois, honoring Officer Daniel Koopman. We have a resolution of the Village of Shorewood, Illinois, Will County, Illinois, honoring Officer Daniel Koopman. Whereas the Village of Shorewood has had the good fortune to have been served for 30 years by Police Officer Daniel Koopman as a caring, dependable, and honest public servant. And whereas the Village of Shorewood does hereby find and determine that Officer Koopman's decades of service to the Shorewood Police Department have been invaluable, contributing significantly to the safety and well-being of our community. And whereas Officer Koopman has served as the Shorewood Police Department Evidence Technician Officer, he's our very own CSI since 2011, applying his technical expertise with precision and integrity. Whereas Officer Koopman has served as a property custodian for 29 years, ensuring the proper handling, storage, and documentation of evidence and property critical to law enforcement operations. And whereas in 2007, Officer Koopman became an original member of the Illinois Law Enforcement Alarm System, the statewide mutual aid system, eventually serving as a team leader as well as the leader of the extrication team. And whereas Officer Koopman was a founding member of Shorewood Police Department's Honor Guard, his commitment to honoring fallen police officers and their families while serving this honorable profession came genuinely from his desire to recognize those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. And whereas Officer Koopman was a member of the Will Grundy Major Crimes Task Force, he represented the Shorewood Police Department on several homicide investigations across the region. His professional skills and demeanor represented the police department well during his time served. And whereas it is hereby found and determined by the Village of Shorewood that Officer Koopman may be succeeded, but he can never be replaced. Whereas it is hereby deemed advisable, necessary, and in the best interest of the village that the President and Board of Trustees express their appreciation and deep gratitude for the service and efforts of Officer Koopman in his 30 years with the village and express their best wishes for his retirement. Now therefore be it resolved by the President and Board of Trustees of the Village of Shorewood, Will County, Illinois, that Daniel Koopman is hereby recognized and heralded for his services to the Village of Shorewood from September 8th, 1995 through September 9th, 2025. Be it further resolved that Daniel Koopman shall carry with him the blessing and gratitude of this village and all of its residents wherever he may travel. Be it further resolved that this resolution upon adoption be spread in full upon the records of the Village of Shorewood, and the clerk of the village is hereby directed to deliver to Daniel Koopman a signed copy thereof. Approved this 9th day of September 2025. Can I have a motion to adopt the resolution?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Chapman. Second by trustee Brockman. Roll call, please.
Brockman,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Luciano,
Yes.
Selfridge,
Yes.
Amos,
Yes.
and Bavia.
Yes.
Where's that office? Come on up here, sir. I want to say congratulations on behalf of myself and the entire village board for putting forth the effort. 30 years here. Establishing the honor guard, participating in all the different entities that you can do within our organization. You are another person that helps showcase Shorewood, especially in the law enforcement role. For that, we are grateful and can't thank you enough for your time, sir.
Thank you for that honor and privilege.
Anything else you want to say?
I just want to say thank you. It's been an honor serving the village. It's been a pleasure being here, and I couldn't have asked for a better professional.
Please share with you.
My amazing wife Angie back there, aunt, mom, brother, niece, her fiance, nephew, sister-in-law, and my oldest son.
You brought a few folks.
Just a few.
That's okay. Chief, anything you want to?
Yes. All the other brothers and sisters you had before.
That was a given, eh?
This, on behalf of the 30 years engaged department in the village, appreciate that. This is for you. This also, our official retirement. Start with 7.
Oh, it wasn't in here.
Start 7-0.
That is correct. Amazing. Thank you.
So about a year and a half ago, we changed the numbering system for our stars. Dan had had 704 for a long time, 28 and a half years. He got switched to a new number that he has originally used for the last year and a half. However, today for his final 1042, he went out of style with his original number 704, not 704, 704. That's right.
Congratulations, Dan.
All the best.
Congratulations again.
All right. Moving on with this evening's order of business, item number 2 will be consideration for approval of a proposal of a proposal for professional services with Christopher Burke Engineering for a traffic calming study in the Breckenridge subdivision, Burton Boulevard, in the amount not to exceed $39,500. Nora, anything that you want to kind of fill in? I know this topic has been discussed at length. We had a pretty healthy discussion a couple weeks ago. I think Mr. Burke and Brian was here to hear the concerns from the board to make certain that those expectations are being met. Aaron, anything that you want to add into that?
No, sir.
Nora, anything you want to add in?
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you, Mayor. So the proposal, as you know, has been discussed over at our village board meeting on August 12th, and then, of course, at the COW meeting held on August 26th. The proposal essentially is the same. The only thing that we had to recently revise a little bit is the schedule of the completion, accommodating a little bit of a later approval date. The technical draft memorandum is preliminary, provided to us over hopefully in the end of November. The study will include an origin destination traffic count study, traffic analysis, evaluation of the traffic calming analysis, and a technical memo with the recommendations. As long as there's no other further questions, staff is recommending the village board approve the proposal from Seabelt in the amount not to exceed $39,500 for the professional engineering services to study the traffic calming measures in the Breckenridge subdivision.
Norio, real quick, what were the dates again that were referenced in that document?
The dates?
Yeah, I know you said there was a modification.
Just to have a completion and draft over submittal to staff by the end of November.
Okay. I think that was the big thing that got missed. I know we had a group that were leaving, so I wanted to kind of hit that.
Okay. Any questions?
Any questions from everybody on the board on that? Take a motion to approve.
Motion to approve as read.
Motion by trustee Amos,
Second.
second by trustee Babiak. Roll call, please.
Chapman?
The only thing is, I wish it was sooner. They've been going at it for 2 weeks now. We authorized it 2 weeks ago. And this is gonna be a 3.5 month study period. So if they're listening, I hope they can hurry it up. Okay? Get that done a little sooner. But yes.
Luciano?
No.
Selfridge?
Yes.
Amos?
Yes.
Babiak?
Yes.
And Brockman?
Yes.
All right, item's been approved on that one. Item number 3 will be a consideration for approval of a resolution for an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Shorewood and the City of Joliet allowing the property of 809 Bronx Road to connect to Joliet's water distribution system. Public Works.
Thank you, Mayor. So 809 Bronx is a unincorporated property located in the Wellington Heights subdivision. Essentially, it's at the northwest corner of Black and Bronx Road. This subdivision was originally constructed in the 1960s and 70s. All the properties in this area are on their own private well and septic system. In June of 2025, Mr. Dan Scott, the owner of the parcel, had approached City of Joliet requesting a water service for his residents. In this particular area, just to the north is Joliet's incorporated subdivision, and they do have a water main along the east side of Bronx Road. Our boundary agreement with Joliet shows this subdivision in Shorewood's planning area. So due to the boundary agreement with Joliet, Joliet cannot provide water to this property without our approval. This IGA basically states that and acknowledges our boundary agreement. This is only for the one property, 809 Bronx. Property must disconnect from Joliet's water main if Shorewood were to install water main and incorporate this area in the future at the owner's expense. Joliet approved this IGA on September 2nd. Staff is recommending the village board approve the resolution approving the IGA between Shorewood and the City of Joliet, allowing 809 Bronx to disconnect to Joliet's water system. To connect to Joliet's water system.
Anybody have any questions on that? Unfortunately, we just don't have water over there to provide, so.
I'll make a motion for the approval of a resolution for an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Shorewood and the City of Joliet, allowing the property of 809 Bronx Road to connect to Joliet's water distribution system.
Motion by trustee Selfridge,
Second.
second by trustee Amos. Roll call, please.
Luciano.
Yes.
Selfridge.
Yes.
Amos.
Yes.
Babiak.
Yes.
Brockman.
Yes.
And Chapman.
Yes.
Okay, item number 3 has been approved. Business item number 4 will be a consideration for approval of a resolution to authorize the appropriation of funds in the amount of $5,448,003 for the construction of the village's Scioto Road reconstruction and bridge replacement project. Back over to Public Works.
Thank you, Mayor. So as we get closer to finalizing the land acquisition portion of this project, we are also getting that much closer to beginning construction. This project involves STP Bridge grant funding. In general, the construction costs will be paid by IDOT upfront, and then we will reimburse for our portion of the project. For the bridge portion, the STP is 80-20, so 20% is local share. For the road portion right now, until something else comes up, it is 100% village responsibility. Similar to many of our other projects, especially with the grant funding, IDOT requires a local public agency agreement, appropriation resolution to be approved by the village board, authorizing the sum of $5,448,003 to be applied for this project. We are recommending the village board approve the LPA appropriation resolution in the amount of $5,448,003, authorizing the appropriation of village funds for the construction of our Scioto Road Bridge and reconstruction project. Any questions?
And for the record, we believe this is going to go out in the March letting is what we're shooting for.
Correct.
So we're moving forward with trying to get this bridge fixed, folks. Anybody have any questions for Norio? Motion to approve the resolution.
I'll make a motion for the approval of a resolution to authorize the appropriation of funds in the amount of $5,448,003 for the construction of the village's Scioto Road reconstruction and bridge replacement project.
Second.
Motion trustee Selfridge, second by trustee Amos. Roll call, please.
Selfridge.
Yes.
Amos.
Yes.
Babiak.
Yes.
Brockman.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
And Luciano.
Yes.
All right, item 4 is complete and approved. Item number 5 will be consideration for approval of a proposal for professional engineering services with Seabell for Phase 3 construction services for our Scioto Road and Bridge reconstruction project in the amount not to exceed $1,195,000. Norio, one more time.
Thank you, Mayor. So again, this is for the Scioto Road and Bridge reconstruction project. This is for the construction oversight of our project. The project is estimated to be almost 18 months in construction. This also, again, if you don't remember from the last discussion, last agenda item, this is the STP bridge funding for this project that requires IDOT documentation certifications. As a reminder, in 2021, we followed the IDOT requirements for this process. And in order for us to secure consulting services, it had to go through a QBS process. It's a qualification-based selection process. So the number of consultants that were interested in this project, the selection team did select Seabell, okay, for both Phase 2 and Phase 3. Seabell's fees are calculated using IDOT's compensation calculation methods. Our fiscal year budget for this project for the construction oversight is $1.4 million. The proposal from Seabell falls well below this budgeted amount. Again, this is STP bridge funding on this project. 80% of the construction and also 80% of the construction engineering for the bridge portion is covered under the STP. Approximately $528,000 from STP funding covers this amount of this $1.2 million construction oversight. Staff is recommending approval of the LPA engineering services agreement with Seabell for Phase 3 construction services for our Scioto Road and Bridge reconstruction project in the amount not to exceed $1,195,000. Any questions?
Anybody have any questions for Norio on that one? Take a motion to approve item number 5.
Make the motion to approve proposal, professional engineering services for Seabell for Phase 3 construction services for our South Road and Bridge reconstruction project amount not to exceed $1,195,000 even.
Motion by trustee Amos, second by trustee Babiak. Roll call, please.
Amos,
Yes.
Babiak,
Yes.
Brockman,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Luciano.
Yes.
And Selfridge.
Yes.
All right, item number 6 will be a consideration for approval of a change order number 1 for Pertano Construction in the amount of $605,526 for our 16-inch water main transmission project. Nori, I'm sorry, we're going back over to Public Works for one more.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is change order number 1 that we're requesting. We are currently under construction for our installation of the 16-inch transmission main that comes from our new pumping station that is also under construction, all the way to the Walnut Trails Water Tower. We are approximately 50% complete with the project. Essentially, 95% of the pipe is already constructed. As part of this project, we are also including 2 pressure-reducing valves. These pressure-reducing valves in our system allows us to be able to better service water going to the west. This allows a 2-pressure zone system in our water distribution. Our project originally had a budget of approximately $6 million. During the Phase 2 design, our engineered estimates reflected costs that were reflected costs over $6.6 million. And because of this overage, staff originally, we wanted to try to install the above-ground infrastructure at that time, but because of the budget restraints, we looked for other alternatives and we had settled for the below grade. The bids that we received were in our favor. The bids were approximately at $4.5 million, which is $1.5 million under our budget, $2 million under the engineer's estimates. With this result, we had directed Seabell to begin redesign of our above-ground system and work with the contractor, work with the vendors, and also work with IEPA for the change to above ground. Over the past 7 months, the system has been redesigned, and we recently, as of last week, received IEPA approvals for both the design and also to be included in our SRF funding. Some things to note above ground versus below ground. Employee safety. Much of it, when we access anything below grade, requires confined space entry. Always have to do with multiple staff, can't go in there alone. Would also require daily checks, especially when we are dealing with a system that is below ground with the potential risks of flooding. And of course, decreased lifespan for those items, equipment that is located below ground with all our electronics. If we were above ground, it reduces employee risk. We can do it with one person. The reduction of checks goes down to about approximately only weekly checks. And of course, it increases the lifespan of our equipment. Change order number 1 is simply the delta, the change between adding 2 above ground systems and deleting 2 below ground systems. Even with this addition of $605,000 to increase our contract to $5.1 million, we are still 15% below our fiscal year budget of $6 million for this project. Tonight, just in case I know that there was some discussions and there might be some technical questions, I did invite Mr. Jacques Plizet, the Assistant Public Works Director, to answer any technical questions that you may have. So we are recommending to the village board that we approve change order number 1 and waive the formal bid process in the amount of $605,526 for our 16-inch water transmission main project, increasing our construction contract to $5,103,143. Any questions?
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Plizet or Noriel?
I do, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
So the way I looked at this and why I was asking staff the questions is, it's a lot of money, and we've got other projects in the hopper. I'm thinking of this traffic study and what it might tell us we might need to do and things that cost money. Like, justify the 600,000. So lifespan, give me, what's the lifespan difference? Is it $600,000 in lifespan difference?
It's not only just the lifespan of the equipment itself, it's staff. So rather than doing a daily check that requires 2 people every day for confined space, it reduces that risk, where everything is now above ground and we have 1 person entering the site to do our normal inspections that we have to do almost on a daily basis. If any of our equipment were to be underground in this below ground, other locations that we have experienced where they are moving their equipment from below ground to above ground, usually a lot of their equipment is corroded after beginning right away, and then usually by the year, 20 years, you have to replace everything. I'm hoping that you might be able to elaborate a little bit on that as well.
Certainly, that is very good question, trustee, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to maybe answer some of these questions for you folks. That is one of the more minor issues with between going above ground and below ground. The more important issues are the efficiency and the dependability of operations. Say the electricity goes out, we're going to have eventually 7 of these PRVs lined up along a boundary that we will create a high pressure zone that will include all of town center, subdivisions in this area, all the way down to Walnut Trail School. Everything west of the railroad tracks will be in the high pressure zone. These pressure reduction valves they provide a lower pressure for everything east of there down to the river. If one of these fails, whether it be for a power outage that allows a sump pump to go out of service middle of the night, electronic short out, our system doesn't know that PRV needs to be closed or open. We could either over pressurize the zone 1, which is everything east of here, or we could run it out of water if we don't have the equipment operating properly. If you go underground, you are very dependent on those sump pumps and those dehumidifiers running properly, constantly, never ever failing. Does that ever happen to anybody where your sump pump never ever fails? Not likely. I put together a brief here for all of you to look over. If you have any questions from it, please feel free to ask me on those. This just answers a lot of the questions that you may have for this. One of the other questions that came up with several people when we discussed this in the past with the Grand Prairie Water Commission, I've got a couple more for you folks, was that
Oh, I did. Thanks, sir. Thank you. If we were to be able to depend 100% on our sump pumps and our dehumidifiers, and they're never ever going to fail, why would we then have a concern? Well, if you look on the front page there, that is a equipment, water main that from a previous employer of mine where I worked. And I was sent to do a design to fix this issue. This is an underground vault. It didn't corrode like this because of the sump pumps failing or moisture or anything like that. The dehumidifiers work. It failed because of condensation within the conduits that gravity flowed down into the electronics and shorted them out. This is another issue that could happen. And on the following pages, if you'll look at all the examples that I personally experienced at previous employers because of underground storage and handling facilities, this is why I am adamantly supporting above ground stations. It's not just the expense of how long the equipment is going to last. There's many, many other, features that go into this.
If it's that important, why wait until now and not try to push in the beginning?
The expense, the simple expense. It put us so much over budget, we just couldn't even consider it.
In the write-up, the write-up indicated was estimated twice as much as it turned out to be. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. When we did get the bids in and it was affordable, that immediately right there, we started working on this addendum.
I see. In terms of Noriel mentioned safety. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely.
What the potential risks are when you have underground?
Yes, this is a confined space entry if it's underground. It has one access and one egress point. Whenever you enter something like this, which is going to have to be entered every day to check the sump pumps, to check the dehumidifier, to make sure everything's properly, you're going to have to go there every day to do it. You're going to have 2 people to do it, and you're going to need to fill out a permit, if you will, confined space entry permit to enter that area. One person will stay above ground, and the other one will go down in to check. You'll have to have a gas monitor before they enter the area. They'll have to test the air in the pit, and then they can only, if it tests proper, can they go into that pit, check the equipment. That's going to have to be done daily. If we are above ground, the building is vented. There are no gases. There's no chance of flooding. It's drained to the exterior. We have dehumidifier and heat in there to provide that we don't get the condensate in the pipes. And if we do get condensate, it's going to go to the low points where we will have drain holes. So it's a safety factor all the way around as far as confined space entry.
What depth would this be at? Out of curiosity, I know we're referring to it, but I'm just curious, what's the depth?
It's going to be a very large tank in the ground. It will probably have about an 8-foot high ceiling. It will be, most likely the ceiling will be flush mount or just below surface. And then the 8-foot depth to get to the base, and then all of the equipment in there. It's going to be a fairly large
What
vault.
size vault would this be?
Underground,
Just
about
ballpark.
10 by 15, I would say, 12 by 15.
Okay.
For underground, we're going to be 12 by 20, I think is the size of the building we spec for above ground.
Okay.
Did you say above ground it's a vault and it's what size?
No, below ground is a vault, basically a big tank. Above ground is a brick facade building.
Okay. Is a question on the valves themselves, are they motorized or?
They are electronically controlled. They use the water pressure itself, and there is a series of solenoid valves that open and close based on our SCADA commands.
So they're motorized?
They're basically motorized, yes.
So wouldn't they be exposed to the same elements above ground?
No. The building will be much drier. They're all on the interior of the building. And if you look at some of the photos I showed you there, I think it's on the second page, that valve system did have dehumidifiers running during different water temperatures, we are going to have a wider variety of water temperature swings when we go on lake water. Right now we're on well water, it's the consistent 46 to 48 degrees year round. When we go to Lake Michigan water, we're going to be in the wintertime in the mid 30 degree temperature water. In the summertime, we're going to be nearly 75 degree temperature water. When you get those kind of variations in temperatures, you get a lot of condensate. Below ground, you will experience a lot of sweating on the pipes, a lot of condensate in the conduits, and on the exterior of the pipes.
You mentioned there'd be 7 of these. Are all 7 going to be above grade then?
It is our intent to all 7 of them be above grade. They will be lined up basically starting up near Black Road. There will be one and down along Windstone towards Walnut Trails, and then all throughout that area. So entire town center area and all this can be in the higher pressure zone. Walnut Trails will be in the higher pressure zone, and everything west will be in the higher pressure zone.
But we haven't bid all the projects that all these?
We have not bid. We've bid these 2.
This is just for 2.
Correct.
Yeah, I just didn't know, yeah, so we still have other ones that may or may not be above ground depending on how they bid out.
In the future, yes, there's some time down the future.
37 years of working with these systems exactly, I'm pretty above ground. Because I've seen this kind of deterioration in refineries the same exact way.
Yes.
And the danger was even greater.
Yes.
But above ground is definitely the way to go as far as I'm concerned, okay,
Yes.
with the building. So
Anything else?
I wish it wasn't costing that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Wish in one hand,
Anybody else have other questions, comments?
Picture's worth 1,000 words. This was probably in the packet. Might have been good to have that, yeah, just, because change orders draw, additional spotlight.
Scrutiny.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll remember
Especially
that
this
next
far
time.
down
Thank
the
you.
line, it
Yeah.
sounds like.
That's all.
they're done. Thank you.
Thank you all.
If there's no other questions or comments, take a motion for approval on item number 6. And waive the public bid, thank you.
so moved.
Motion by trustee Chapman,
Second.
second by trustee Amos. Roll call, please.
Babiak,
Yes.
Brockman,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Luciano,
Yes.
Selfridge,
Yes.
and Amos.
Yes.
All right, item 6 been approved. Item number 7 is a little bit more of a presentation of a program that the staff's been working on regarding some resident recognition. And with that, it'd be Ms. Engel and Isabel.
Thank you. Earlier this year, the Citizens Advisory Committee began discussing the idea of a resident recognition program. Staff attended 2 meetings where they brainstormed ideas and came up with suggestions about how the program could work. There are no Citizens Advisory Committee meetings over the summer, but they're going to be reconvening later this month. And as such, we wanted to bring you up to date on the program, make sure that you agree with its creation, and if we're on the right track, we will continue working with them to make this a reality. Isabel Bohanec, our communications assistant, is here to walk you through it.
Good evening. As Natalie mentioned, we're here to go over the Citizens Advisory Committee and what the village staff has been working on for a new resident recognition program. This program is about celebrating the people who make Shorewood the community-oriented and special place that it is. So with that, our goal is to spotlight those who are achieving excellence and are making a meaningful difference right here in our community. The proposed program has 2 parts to it. First is the Notable Neighbor. This recognizes individuals, groups, and businesses who go above and beyond to serve and uplift Shorewood, and then the Circle of Champions honors residents who have achieved top honors at the state, national, or even international level, whether it's in athletics, academics, or in their professional field. So to briefly just go through both of them, the first would be the Notable Neighbor. This program, it's, like I said, designed to highlight your everyday hero, people who have shown leadership, civic commitment, or inspired others through their service. Nominations are open to individuals, groups, businesses, and organizations who either live in Shorewood or have directly impacted the community. And the recognized neighbors will be featured on our website, social media platforms, and there will be a dedicated Notable Neighbor page on our website that holds all their feature stories for residents to look back on. And we'll accept nominations quarterly with recognition following soon after each deadline. Next is the Circle of Champions, which is very similar to what we did for the state champion that won wrestling this year. These are residents or Shorewood natives who win state, national, or international awards. Examples include the IHSA state titles, the NCAA titles, academic competitions like a spelling bee, or even major honors, which would be awesome, like the Nobel Prizes, Oscars, or even Olympic medals, which would be so cool to feature. Unlike the Notable Neighbors, the Circle of Champions nominations are accepted on a rolling basis, so we'll review them as they come in, and we may even seek them out ourselves. Oops. Okay. So for the nomination process, both will use a single streamlined nomination form on the village website. The form collects like the basic information, which is a description of the achievements or contributions and any supporting documentation that someone might submit, like news articles or photos. There's even an option for nominators to indicate if they're unsure which program fits best for the person they'd like to nominate. And at that, the staff will help make a recommendation based off of the eligibility criteria.
Oh, what happened? There it is.
Okay. Oops.
We touched it.
It's a very fancy presentation. There you go. So that's an example of the website that Isabel put together to give you an idea of what it would look like. So over to you.
Yeah. So to raise awareness and like promote nominations, we'll go live on the website like Natalie showed. And as we start the program, we'll feature the stories, which will naturally help build momentum around this community recognition. And obviously we'll also rely on the Citizens Advisory Committee to help spread the news and maybe see if there's anyone else they'd like to recommend. So as you can see right now, we are ready to go live on the website if need be. The form is set up, and there's also a PDF form that's available in the building department should people not know it's available on the website. Thank you.
So we were just looking for
Just want to make
some
sure.
feedback. Do you want us to keep moving forward, working with the Citizens Advisory and make this a go?
We just want to make sure we want to make sure the board was up to date with the idea and how it's moving along. And if everybody's still on board with, likes the idea, we'll keep moving it along.
Is it one notable neighbor per quarter?
No, we thought the notable neighbors could be, more of a widespread. So it would be more, what have they accomplished? What have they done to help their community and things like that?
This is something that started several months ago when we recognized the one gentleman that won the state championship for wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And we brought it to Citizens Advisory Committee and discussed it. There's so many ideas that they had, but you have to start someplace.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, as Natalie says, we're still working on it, but this is a start. And I think it's important to let other residents recognize what the other residents that they're living with or around are doing. I mean, as an example, I just found out the other day, if you watch the Bears game, that J.J. McCarthy grew up like 5 blocks from where I lived in Westchester. He lived in Grange Park. I would never known that. And we had, at one time, someone mentioned we had people that I don't even know if they won an Olympic medal or they made the Olympics. And the old timers know who some of those are. None of the new people in town know any of that. I think it's important for us to know the history of the town. So that's why we're pursuing it. And I hope the board agrees to continue to go on to come up with, a program.
Yeah, we just want to bring everybody up to date. Sort of everybody's supportive of it. We'll just let staff keep moving it along, and that way we can get it implemented. We'll just make sure everybody's briefed once we can get it out there and get it live.
Yeah, looks good.
It does. How's the selection made? Nominations are pretty clear. How's the selections?
I think we'd probably look to the Citizens Advisory Committee. To a certain extent, we tried to lay out what the standards would be, say, for the Circle of Champions.
Sure.
Because that's sort of the very exclusive award. But then if there was, somebody who did something notable, then we would, bring it to the Citizens Advisory Committee, talk about it, and then, come back and, provide the information about who won those awards, probably do a certificate or something like that. There's a slightly different bar for each program.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
All right. With that, move into our trustee comments. Trustee Amos.
No comment. Thank you, Mayor.
No problem. Thank you. Trustee Babiak.
No comment.
Thank you. Trustee Brockman.
No comment this evening, thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Chapman.
No comment.
Thank you. Trustee Luciano.
Citizens Advisory Committee will be meeting September 25th at 7 p.m. on the second floor of the Village Hall. If anyone's interested in becoming involved in the committee, they can contact myself or any of the other members whose information is listed on the Village website. That's all.
Thank you. And trustee Selfridge.
I had a question for staff or maybe Public Works. The lighting on River Road, the new light poles are in. When do the old poles come down?
We've
I
been
wish I had a
engaged
really
with
good
ComEd
answer.
and we can't get it.
Those are ComEd poles?
Those are ComEd.
The concrete poles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Comment.
Okay. Thank you.
We're working with them.
You said enough. Thank you.
Yeah. And with that, I think most of the board members may have seen there's the Lennar project down there, Auburn Chase. They got going. They started. Obviously, we know the YMCA is moving along. The Hamptons started getting their stuff squared away, and Town Center 2 just got out the brush, and there's some equipment out back there for that one again. So there's going to be a lot of activity moving around as we continue to move west. So it's definitely a sign of progress, and congratulations and kudos to the board for helping support those developments. With that, take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Luciano, second by trustee Amos. Roll call, please.
Brockman.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Luciano.
Yes.
Selfridge.
Yes.
Amos.
Yes.
And Bavia.
Yes.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.